Like myself, I'm sure you have all been inundated with emails from every possible company imaginable with COVID-19 in the title this past week. I'm Shannon Ellison from the Walker team of Untitled Real Estate, and since we're over a week into this pandemic, I want to touch on how our real estate market has been affected here in Silicon Valley while we live in a shelter-in-place order. My sincerest apologies for not getting this out sooner, but there have been changes daily, and I have literally had to rewrite significant parts of this entire video every day. Today, I'm just going to go with everything we know right now, and of course, by the time you watch this, I'm sure there will be changes, but the biggest obstacle in the market right now is uncertainty and the fear that it causes. Let's touch on the facts as to what is actually happening as this video is being filmed. The mortgage industry. If you have been paying attention this week, mortgage rates are all over the place. They're still historically low, and most people wish interest rates were like this when they bought their first home. But there has been some major volatility. This has mainly affected high-risk loans and alternative loans. If you're still in a position to put 20% down and have good credit, you'll be largely unaffected. Based on the profile of most of the home buyers in Silicon Valley, this would indeed be the case. Employment becomes the next item at hand. In certain industries, there will be lots of people who would not be working or working a lot less. The service industries are hit the hardest. In most of our area, local buyers tend to be in the tech industry, and most of those companies, such as Apple, have made preparations for an upcoming recession to avoid issues like what happened in 2008. Many of these companies realize that it is more expensive to let people go and hire them back later, so they have squirreled some money away. How has the shelter-in-place order affected us in the Bay Area, as we are the very first area to be placed with this restriction? As you may know, new real estate sales are considered non-essential activities. This means that both open houses and private showings are not allowed under the current restrictions. On Tuesday the 24th, yesterday, representatives from the California Association of Realtors met with the governor to discuss the next steps as it relates to an industry that has so much impact on the U.S. economy. We'll keep you updated on what transpires from that meeting. Let's talk about the hard numbers in sales over the beginning of 2020. In January, we had 955 new listings. February, we had 1,273 new listings, and as of March 24th, we had 1,041 new listings. Projected over a full month, that would be 1,344 new listings, up 5.6% from the previous month. As far as home sales goes, January provided 736, February had 932, and as of March 24th, there were 738. Once again, projected, that would be 953, up 2% from the previous month. Closed sales in January numbered 624, February was 753, and through the 24th of March, we had 692. Once again, projected out, that would be 894, up 18.7% from the previous month. If we focused on just the 2 days at the beginning of this week, the first week without open houses or private showings, this is a really interesting statistic. We have seen 60 new listings, 34 new pending sales, and 41 more closings. If we projected that number over a full month, we would see that the activity is still pacing over 50% of the yearly averages so far, without people even being able to technically go into the house. As a matter of fact, as a team, we were involved in multiple offers more than once this past week. And why is the market staying relatively active despite this perceived large obstacle out there? That truly is the question, isn't it? In Silicon Valley, in 2020, we had been witnessing one of the hottest markets in years. With pent-up demand and multiple offers all over the place, we're also in the prime selling season, as 33% of all of the annual sales happen in the second quarter. And there's still people that have to buy and sell despite the extraordinary circumstances. What happens once we get through this pandemic? We will get through it. We always do. As a species, we're strong, and as a country, we are resilient. Inman News just published an article discussing the international real estate market in areas that are ahead of us in the spread of the pandemic. The article stated that the real estate markets paused for 4 to 6 weeks, and then we're back up to previous levels and activity just 4 to 6 weeks later. Interest rates, all-time lows. Demand is still high. Inventory, still at all-time lows. History tells us that people who put off buying and selling during the pandemic will come right back into the market. So what do you think is going to happen after we weather this storm? A little bit of opinion. backed by several top economists, this event is similar to the unfortunate and tragic events of 9/11 when people lived in fear of leaving their household. It's not so much like 2008 when there was a mortgage collapse and real estate was the main factor in the Great Recession. The pause button has been pushed, and the play button is waiting. I completely understand if you're in a position that real estate is just not important right now, and I 100% understand and I support your decision. However, if you are in a position that you have to buy or sell, or you just simply choose to during this time, I'm here to answer your questions as they pertain to your particular situation. Within the week, we'll share a couple of videos answering how we are safely and effectively helping those that have to buy and sell now, also answering your real-time questions on a Facebook Live as they pertain to the ever-changing real estate market. Thank you guys so much for your time today, and please stay safe out there, my friends. Take care.